Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and here we are, it's finally time. I have reached the final of the 39 songs that I am due to review for Eurovision 2021 season, and as I'm sure you know if you've been even close to the train tracks along which the hype train runs, that, well, the only country left to talk about is Malta! Wow, that was completely tuneless on my part and in no way indicative of what we can expect from tiny cute little Malta, everyone's favourite tiny little island that's tiny and little and located where Malta is, because it's the only set of tiny little islands located where Malta is. I sound like I'm about to make some sort of weird political speech here, that is not my intention. So, just like last year, Malta will this year be represented by Miss Destined, who bears the title għall-Qadi tar-Repubblika, which means Medal for Service to the Republic, and so she's entitled to have MQR after her name, in sort of in the same way to like a British OBE, CBE, MBE. I mean, I don't even understand how they work, but the point is, I feel like not enough people recognise that she does legally have these high honours of her country, so like, respect the fact that she has the title, maybe, but then at the same time I feel like I worry I might be obsessing over mentioning that after her name. Point is, her name's Destiny, you might recognise her from representing Malta last year or for winning Junior Eurovision in 2015, and this year she's coming to adult Eurovision with the song Me Casse. But don't be fooled, it's predominantly in English, apart from, obviously, the titular phrase, which is French. It literally means I break away, or I break myself, something to that effect, but it's a colloquialism. It means I go away, I'm out of here, that kind of thing. So, you know, if I were to get really offended and just, you know, I'd be like, oh, me casse. But obviously that's not what's happening here. Well, within the lyrics of the song, maybe it is, we'll get to that later on. Anyway, music and lyrics by Marlene Christine, Emmanuel Dermont, Nicholas Eklund, and Pete Barringer, or possibly Barringer. I don't know how to pronounce that. See, I thought saying the Maltese name for the MQR award would be the hardest thing to pronounce in this video. Nope, it's a sly G that could be a G or a D. I am obsessing over the small stuff in this video. Let's just get on with the review, shall we? So, first impressions. It's sad, really, that we're out here in the year 2021 and songs like this still need to exist. Don't get me wrong, I 100% completely agree with the song's message. It's just frustrating that there are still people out there who need to be told that no means no. I cannot understand how that's a shocking revelation to some people, but it is, so songs like this are necessary. Still, Destiny has taken that message and turned it into an absolute banger, so if hearing this song stops even one person from being that guy, I'd say this song has succeeded. And I must say as well, I don't necessarily know where or when or why or for whom this song was written, but I do feel like it's a much better fit for Destiny than her Would Have Been 2020 entry was, which had already been doing the national final circuit for as many years as she had been a Junior Eurovision winner by that point. Rumours suggest that this wasn't specifically written for her either, but honestly, could have fooled me. It seems so much more authentic to her as an artist, rather than just being a match for her vocal style above all else. So, yeah, Malta, you're doing good. Right then, where do we begin with evaluating this one? I suppose I'll start with the genre. It's not quite electro swing per se, but it's in that general ballpark. I'll call it electro jazz. It calls to mind the work of Caro Emerald, and I absolutely love her music. I have all her albums, there is not a single track on them that sound like filler, so it comes as very little surprise that this song also strikes a chord with me. The important point, though, is that it's a sincere entry into the genre, rather than just using the genre as a novelty unto itself in a self-aware way. Naming no names from my country from 2015. What I'm saying is it's earnest electro jazz that doesn't sound out of place among modern music. It's going, I'm a song and I'm electro jazz, not I'm an electro jazz song, isn't that wacky? Which is a refreshing change. In itself, that gives the song a powerful sense of identity, and that's without taking into account Destiny herself. Past experience has proven to us that she is an excellent performer across the board, live, in the studio, whatever. bearing in mind that, she won Junior Eurovision 2015, she competed in Britain's Got Talent, she won the X Factor Malta, and as I said, for her service to the Maltese music industry, she was awarded one of her country's highest possible honours that can be bestowed by the government. So the bottom line is, there's a mountain of evidence that confirms her talent as an artist. And then, of course, there's the other half of this powerhouse of an equation, the message of the song. Like I said, it's sad that there are still people out there today that need to be told this sort of thing, and kind of also sad too that standing up for this message can earn you so many free karma points just for sharing a message that should be common sense, really. But the fact remains, there are people out there who need to have this message drilled into them, and there are people out there who need to hear this song as a means of empowering them and elevating them out of a place of fear. It's sad that such people should need this kind of reassurance in the first place, but great that this is another piece of ammunition in the armory of empowerment that they now have. Naturally, to bring it all together, Destiny is a great fit for sharing that sort of message. For one thing, she's of an age where she's just starting to enter the world herself of adults who may very well try to treat her this way. And hearing and seeing her at such a young age rebuke those advances with such sass and charisma and confidence will invariably be of help to others around her age and beyond, naturally, to do the same and with confidence of their own. For another, she's a proven tour de force when it comes to delivering with boldness and self-assuredness, so it doesn't come across as artificial when she portrays it. She's like a physical embodiment of the song here, She's full on energy, full on compulsion, full on raw power as a performer, and she and the song bounce off each other so well to really bring out the best in each other. Malta can definitely be proud of this one. On the other side of things, well, this is the tricky part in a self-demonstrating sort of way, I'm afraid. What you might not like about this song is that, in a way, it's all about everything but the song, so to speak. That is to say, well, there are a couple of factors. For one, there's the hype surrounding it as it currently stands, and more importantly, surrounding Destiny as an artist. You might feel lukewarm towards a song, you might even dislike it, that's fine too, and that's all fair enough. But then hearing people constantly celebrating it as a candidate to guaranteedly do very well, possibly even win, hearing all that might be frustrating to you, which would understandably interfere with your enjoyment of the song. You might feel that this hype would be diminished were it not performed by an ex-Junior Eurovision alumnus, for example. And the moment you feel like you can explain the hype, the more justified you feel in discrediting it, and that's never a pleasant feeling to experience. Something else that kind of precedes the song, naturally, is the message. To be clear, to reiterate, there is nothing bad about the song's message itself. The issue of consent is a very important one. People do need to be more open about talking about it. People need to be less afraid that someone will take advantage of them, so I'm not disputing that. But you may feel that you are disallowed from having your own opinions about the song because the song carries this message. That is, some people might falsely assume that if you don't like this song, that means you must disagree with the message, which no one in their right mind would do. Or you might feel that using such a pertinent message is a cheap way to obtain karma points, like I said before. To reiterate, not saying the message is a bad thing, I'm saying that some people might feel that the relevance of the message, for one reason or another, may get in the way of evaluating other factors within the song. For instance, you might feel that the dance break near the end doesn't gel so well with the rest of the song. You might not, it's a stylistic thing. Most of the song is up-tempo electro jazz, but then we have this beat breakdown more typical of other styles of pop. It's not the first time this has happened. Malta did it in 2018. I had mixed feelings about it, but I still really like the song. So, I don't have any issues with it myself here, but I can totally get if someone feels like it comes in out of nowhere in an attempt to appeal to as many different audiences as possible. I trust Destiny to make it work on the night, but I fully get it if you don't get it. If you don't get it. Me Casse. Anyway, putting that entire mess of a discussion to one side, let's talk numbers. This gets a personal 10 out of 10 from me. It's a bop, it's a banger, it's a generally fantastic time, brought to us by a brilliant artist. As I said before, I am a massive fan of the music of Caro Emerald, and this is probably the closest a Eurovision entry has ever got to that at this point in time. I don't really have much to add on top of that, other than to reiterate that I'm super on board with it. I just feel bad that I've spent so much of this video talking about the message and the surrounding factors rather than the song itself, but I feel like it addresses such a delicate issue that when analysing the song critically, I can't overlook it, because it's such a huge part of the song's identity and intent. And I agree with what the song is saying. I just understand if some people are frustrated by the fact that it inevitably carries so much discourse with it as a result. There'll be people who just want to vibe with this song, and so hearing people talk about the message and Destiny as a person, they feel like that might get in the way. I get it, that's probably really frustrating. So let's move away from that. On the technical side, I think another 10 out of 10 is justified, I'm afraid. Music-wise, not that I've had much of a chance to delve into it in this video, this song gets a lot right by being a catchy but sincere instance of electro jazz that uses the genre organically rather than just as a flimsy novelty. It's delivered by a talented and charismatic artist, and it presents a message of a tragically evergreen level of importance. Put the two together, and it comes through incredibly sincerely. In my mind, as a juror, I would say this song strikes a perfect balance between meeting the needs of the artist performing it, presenting contemporary music that would sound at home in the world outside of the contest, and highlighting a narrative that needs elevating in this way, without sounding incongruous or preachy, or of an inappropriate level of flippancy, or just generally being incongruous with other aspects of the song's presentation. Yeah? Sounds like a fair 10 out of 10 situation to me. And as for how things stand with the broadcaster, of course this is a good reaction to last year being cancelled. Similar to Georgia, Destiny was chosen as a singer by way of a public show, in this case the X Factor Malta, and was then given the song at a later date. This year, Destiny was chosen internally, thereby upholding and respecting the decision made by the Maltese public last year. Given that this would have been only their third year of choosing an artist by the X Factor, I would understand if the broadcaster wanted a modicum of consistency to cement that process as a credible means of choosing an artist, especially considering that it's taken the place of the previous Maltese national final format, which was something of a beloved presence in the fan community. But I respect the broadcaster for doing the right thing and giving Destiny a second chance after she had earned it but was unable to cash it in last year. And as I said before, she shines all the brighter not having a quite so obvious hand-me-down of a song this time, so it's even more of a second chance for her, depending on your point of view. So, will this make the final? Well, Malta is due to close the first semi-final this year, so kind of a mixed bag, but you know, it's viewed as the more competitive semi-final, but the song has an advantageous place in the running order. But that being said, based on the fan reactions and the betting odds, this song is one of the main reasons why Semi-Final 1 is viewed as such a tight contest in the first place. Based on that, I think this will be a more than safe finalist. The public at large, who have already heard it, seem to be responding hugely favourably, and the slick production that brings musical originality against a contemporary and solidly composed musical backdrop suggests to me that the juries are likely to echo that sentiment, and that's saying nothing of how likely they are to reward Destiny's impressive vocal prowess with points here anyway. Some people reckon that this is one of the contenders to win the contest entirely this year. Do I think Destiny could go all the way? I think it's too soon to say that for certain, realistically, but it wouldn't surprise me. But it would be rude to count out the other entries at this stage too. 2021 is a wide open contest, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Is this one of the contenders? Sure. Is it guaranteed to win? Let's not forget that there are 38 other countries in the running at this point, shall we? So, that being said, you lovely people, what's your deal with this song? Listen to it for yourself, let me know how you feel. If you want to share your opinions, you don't have to, I just urge you to come up with thoughts of your own. In the meantime, to Destiny, I wish you the very best of luck. I'm sure you will absolutely slay when you hit the stage in Rotterdam, and will you be bringing the contest home with you when all's said and done? It remains to be seen, but if you do, I'd say you've earned it. See you in May.